some of my community had some questions, and they would like me to ask them. Some of the questions are regarding that civilization that was here before, what is known as moderns, what's sometimes referred to as Atlantis. And the other question is regarding the reduction of population and how it will take place. That we can answer with greater ease. The world as you see it now will shift into greater peace and wellness. The societies become more prosperous and less dependent on survival instincts of procreation or survival. The internal need for procreation reduces. It is a natural process that you can observe right now in all the developed world, no matter what culture, Asia, Europe, the Americas, and Africa. The more prosperous, the more free the world is, the nation is, it steps out of the survival, more primal instinct of procreation and allows greater choice for women, allows greater choice for people to choose whether to procreate or not. This is not only a matter of abundance and prosperity, but a matter of consciousness of knowing we don't have to. It's getting out of those social modes that have existed for thousands of years and shifting them into deeper and deeper understandings that we do not need to continue physically in order to continue. There's plenty and there is enough. Knowing that our survival, that our continuation does not only depend on procreation. We exist first and foremost as beings, as essence, and only then we manifest physically. Once this deeper understanding exists, the deeper knowing that we are first and foremost consciousness, then all will shift. And society will easily shift and understand that it can more easily project itself and exist with less. Less is more. Simplicity always follows the first ravenous experience of wealth. It is a natural progression. And with that simplicity comes the understanding that we need less. Less stuff, less people, less distractions. So there's always that same progression between survival abundance becomes overconsumption that you have seen in the past 100 and some years. Overconsumption of goods, overconsumption of food. This will not stay this way. It will simply shift as people understand more and more their role and move more into the simplicity and clarity from within of what you really are. So this overpopulation, which truly exceeded all expectations, truly is overrunning the surface of the earth, will reduce and more space will be left for nature, for it is significantly reduced as of late, will flourish again. And population will easily and through choice will reduce to measurable amounts. We are reaching the peak very soon. And from that point, it will reduce once the less prosperous nations, who are not only not prosperous, again, still in a survival mode, will shift and become more stable as far as population, and then start reducing. It's not a crisis of the depopulation. It is the natural progression of how it will continue. And it is also the general consciousness of humanity, knowing that more is not better. There's a certain point in which more is too much. So allow this process to take place naturally and easily. There will be no great catastrophes that will annihilate great portions of the population. We have chosen not to inflict this. It is not necessary. Humanity is better equipped of dealing with natural disasters, which will occur, but they will not be so devastating as to annihilate, or diseases that will annihilate, such as the plague or floods. Small floods here and there, small breakouts here and there. But as the consciousness shifts, less and less, all that will happen. And within a very short period of time, in our measurements, a few hundred years, a couple hundred years, 300 years, the population will stabilize on far less, and giving more and more space for nature to flourish and for us to admire and enjoy nature. Once the overall human consciousness of understanding that humanity, nature, deserves its space as well, honoring and not having power over nature, where it is not ours to submit or manipulate. We are the guardians of Eden, of this paradise, of this gift of earth. So rest assured, it does not have to be drastic. It does not have to be catastrophic. It does not have to bring anguish or devastation, but simply the natural progression of humanity as a species and a deeper understanding that there is no need for so many. And we are fine as we are. As to the other question regarding civilization that existed before modern written history, popularly known as Atlantis, there's so many misconceptions about what happened, how it happened, and we're not here to dictate or give the information. We are to give the general premise of what you need to learn. Too much has been focused on that and what technology they held, which was very different than the technology you have now. In some way, the technology you have now surpasses what they have accomplished then, and in other ways, it is completely below the levels where they were far more advanced psychically and consciously. They knew how to work with their natural gifts and manipulate them through the power of energy, thought, and able to communicate and connect with different elements of the earth, such as crystals and different devices that have been developed that have brought a deeper understanding of gravity, anti-gravity. So the technology is somewhat more advanced in that way. We're able to travel through their minds, able to do things that required seemingly less technological material advances like you possess now. The whole thing of computers and did not exist. They did not need to create that, or they have their psychic abilities more developed. So the lack of it and the greater emphasis on this level of development to grow more on the materialistic level, since the other faculties have been diminished that are now more coming back. But this lack of psychic abilities have brought the more materialistic basis of science as you know it now, that have created and achieved, in some cases, far more deeper understanding of how things are. However, the consciousness is not there yet. So they created different ways and different things. They have evolved in different ways that are somewhat harder to compare to what you have now. And what you have now is really not even all that you will get. Once you get to that point of free energy, which is coming very soon, within a generation, then it'll free and change society significantly. And you will be reaching a different level of comprehension. And then the need for drive, the drive for the need to work and procreate and bring more and do more and achieve on the materialistic level will significantly be reduced. People will be able to focus on understanding what it is to be human, not just chasing things that are externally measured, socially accepted factors and measurements of success that are truly a distortion. Material success is so valued now because it provides freedom from that need to survive. Very understandable. But when the entire population will be free of that need for survival. That need will diminish to be so materialistically wealth-oriented society as it is now. As we expressed earlier, this is how it all comes together. That overindulgence on material things is always a reaction to the opposite, which is having no means, no food, no goods, no comforts. So the overindulgence, overconsumption is a reaction to still having that mentality of survival instincts and survival needs, wanting to be above it, to free yourself from it. Financial freedom. When we talk about abundance, we rarely talk about financial freedom, which is such a big focus on these days. And it is simply a distortion, simply an escape, a natural survivalist need to not have to struggle. That's all really people want, to not struggle. Some people fancy and go into this overindulgence and want the bigger car, bigger houses, bigger yachts. That's not the point. It is still done from that level of consciousness. Once that is freed, and society will be freed of it, once energy will be free energy, that'll be the trigger to free society from that survival need to work, to earn a living, and people will be able to dedicate themselves for the betterment of humanity and the betterment of each other, of society, and spend more time investing in each other. And it's not only a utopian dream. This is simply something that comes with higher level of consciousness and understanding that will come and that will bring the shift. So allow yourself to know that this is coming. And such civilizations as Atlantis is better known here as, have had so much of this already accomplished, yet they had some elements within them, not all, but some elements, who ignited that need for greed, power over others, and that was some of the initial need to experiment and explore that even with greater understanding of what it is to be in that. So the society have gone through that process of truly, fully materialistic experience, almost deprived of all psychic abilities, to master the experience of materialistic understanding through material, through that place without the psychic abilities. So it was just another notch in deprivation of our essence, of our abilities, in order to truly see how that can evolve. And it had its good, it had its bad. This is all judgment, what's good and bad. It's not good and bad, it just simply is part of this experience, this experiment of evolution without those abilities. This is not a punishment for those in Atlantis that have made mistakes. It is just trying something different for the expansion, for the deeper understanding of what is. So let go of the judgment piece of why they were so advanced and we're not. Why are they this and that? This is just a different experience. It's just like trying to understand why the dinosaurs had to go in order for the mammals to come. Did the dinosaurs do something bad? No, but they have existed for hundreds of millions of years. And that experience, that experiment, have reached a certain point in which it was enough. We need to try something new now. And it had to be a devastating shift in order to make room for something new, for mammals. Was mammal better than dinosaurs? In some way, yes, it's more evolved, but in some way it's not. It's not comparable. And one was born out of the other. So it's all just a continuation and a different focus of attention in the process of experiencing itself, Earth experiencing itself, and us as overseers allowing different elements to step up and thrive. And one cannot thrive if there's no room for it. So other things need to go in order to allow one element to thrive. Is one better than the other? Not necessarily. Can one reach the same levels? Eventually, but it is always a little different. So trying to compare Atlantis to civilization now is not, it's apples and oranges. It's just not the same. Let go of the need to find the technology itself, for it is so remarkably different. Let go of the need to compare and understand they were better. Why are we less than? Yeah, they were better at some things. And we're reaching a point, again, very soon, in which we will be reaching that place of mastery as they have reached, just from a different place. So let go of the need to compare and contrast and feel less than. Just focus on where you are. You chose to come here now in this important moment in society's development. And some people are already more evolved and they're frustrated to see how unevolved society is overall. But it is coming. It is shifting quite rapidly right now. So have some patience and know all these changes that those who are more evolved are frustrated and are seeking. Your push will have and make this happen. When you become the major way of thinking of a higher, more evolved level of consciousness, understanding that we're here to support, that we are all one, and that the best tool is love in everything you do, not hate, fear, rejection, separateness. When the understanding that those are a thing of the past, of survival instincts, of separateness, of fear, everything will shift. So right now, have patience and let go of the you holding on to that energy of surviving, survivalist kind of energy of I need to protect myself, otherwise I will be extinguished, or that the world is coming to an end and there'll be catastrophes. It would annihilate us all. Let go of this energy that is unsustainable. It is unsustainable, but it will not last. So let go of the worry, the fear, all those things that hold you back and keep you down. So your job right now, and it's rather the third question you didn't even ask now, of one of your participants in your group, what can we do now to hold a higher vibration? Is to let go of that fear, this uncertainty, this holding on to the chaos. Don't hold on to it. Let go of it. Be free of that. Free of fear. Free of uncertainty. Trust that this is shifting and moving in the right direction. Be the light in the world. And there will be light in the world. When you are diminished and extinguish the light, your own light, there will be darkness. So light up from inside. Hold on to that deeper understanding that you are evolving. You are in that process, that vulnerable process, moment in your process of shifting. It's like that butterfly that is in its chrysalis, from shifting from a caterpillar to a butterfly. And that process is uneasy. It is hard. It is confining and vulnerable. But know that you are becoming that butterfly. That you are shifting from one form to another consciously. This is not a physical metamorphosis, although that will come too. But it is more of being in that chrysalis and knowing I'm about to be born as a butterfly. Hold on to that energy and know that you are freeing yourself from that uncertainty. It's like being in that chrysalis. Like, will I become a butterfly? Of course you will. It is, at this point, inevitable. So let go of all those fear and worries. Do the right action of being the light in the world, speaking your truth, speaking from the place of oneness and love. And you will move and become the butterfly. Farewell.